So, I mean, I'm in the Department of Chicano Latino Studies in addition to being in history. And the Department of Chicano Latino Studies here, as everywhere, is born out of an activist tradition. It emerges from a new discipline in the late 60s that was self-consciously focused on putting scholarly production, putting academia at the service of the community. So this is part of the legacy of the department that I come from. So I'm excited to see sort of externally that there are other spaces on the campus that are beginning to sort of move in those directions, but it's been part of the reality of the department that I belong to since it was founded, right? And I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of the work that my colleagues do. Our chair, Vicky Ruiz, of course, has a long and distinguished reputation as a community, as a public scholar and a community activist. She works with Ana Rosas on collecting oral histories through the Orange County Public Library. Probably you're tied into that in some way. And all of our faculty members, community engagement it's part of their practice. It's part of the way that they approach research. It's part of the way that they produce knowledge and why we produce knowledge. I certainly think of my research in that way. I write about immigrant communities and I write about who has access to immigration and who doesn't, right? And that's an urgent question for Orange County, right? It's an urgent question for Southern California. It's an urgent question for our nation, for the world, right? Another thing that is part of what I think is one of UCI's identities, one of its legacies, but that we're just starting to realize, is our role as a institution that promotes mobility for first-generation students. So we now know that our undergraduate population is 60% first generation. And 2 years ago, I founded a faculty organization called the First Generation Faculty, which is a network to train, to support, to bring faculty together who themselves were first generation to go to university, as well as people who are interested, faculty who are not first generation, but are interested in being more conscious and more skillful advocates for that population. That initiative, I'm excited and proud to see that it is increasing awareness on this campus of the fact that we have, for many years now, been a first-generation majority school, even though that's not necessarily the way that we have imagined ourselves. Yeah. And it's certainly not the way that maybe the outside world imagines us, because we're in Orange County. People have very stereotypical ideas of Orange County as super rich and super white and super just homogenous, right? And Orange County is much more complicated and rich and diverse than that. And UCI reflects that. It could reflect it more, but it certainly reflects that. And I'm excited to see UCI and different deans and administrators and faculty members and students that I come into contact with increasingly thinking about and getting excited about the idea that not only are we a first-gen majority school, we're a research leader nationwide. And thinking that here we are in this unique position of challenging the idea that diversity and excellence don't really go hand in hand, that a school can be diverse or it can be a national and international leader in research, right? We're doing both. And as we come more and more to this awareness that that's what we're doing, I think that creates an energy and an excitement that, I want to stick around and see where it takes us.